Greetings, everyone, from the White Mountains of Arizona. It's a chemtrail-filled day, but we're out here and we're ready to do another channeling for you all. That's where Tara and I live, on the top of that hill. We're just out for a little stroll, and today we're going to channel the Christ consciousness. It's his, air quote, birthday coming up. So we wanted to talk to Christ, Jesus Christ. I don't know exactly what Tara is going to connect to. I assume the Christ consciousness. Tara and I have both worked with this energy for a very long time, and it's one of the most beautiful, loving, caring, knowledgeable, wise energies that we've ever encountered. So we wanted to bring him, whatever, to you today, and that's what we're going to do. I don't want to trigger religious people, but my questions are going to maybe do so. So that's just my little spoiler warning. Okay, so yeah, we've got a lot of information on him before. We believe that he was a regular human being, just like you or I, whose higher self led him to figuring out how to remove his ego completely. And through the removal of the ego, he realized that he is God. He is Source. He's the embodiment of Source on this planet. And he was here to teach us that. So that's what we believe. We'll get some answers here today. But first, I want to show you this sweater. Look at this thing. It's 3D. Give her some time to connect. Show you around the area a little bit more.
Okay.
All right. Who have you connected to today?
Jesus.
Jesus. Which version of Jesus? In which dimension?
13. He says it's just his energy, his consciousness. Although he can talk about any ego aspects needed, but also mixed with higher perspective.
Okay, so this is the version of Jesus that stayed in our universe?
Yes.
Did a piece of him go to the next place?
He says technically we're in all universes, even if a singular version of yourself isn't aware. He says the version of yourself on Earth isn't aware that it's in 4D or 5D or that it's even in another universe. It's fragmented consciousness of the same consciousness.
So we exist in all places and all times at once.
Yes, he says it is set up that way in order to aid in the evolution of the energy of one being Source.
Okay, so all is one, yet there's infinite splits of the one.
Yes.
Cool. So I think what we want to learn more about is your life here on Earth and how that pertains to how we can ascend. My first question is the Bible part of the Matrix control program?
Yes, anything learned within the Matrix would be part of the Matrix, although there are things that you could learn from the Matrix when combined with one's higher self.
So like all things, there's polarity, opposite polarity within the Bible.
Of course.
There's truth and lies. So what would you say is the biggest misdirection within the Bible?
That I am somehow different from you. If all is one, then you are me and I am you. I'm not someone special, selected, singled out, who somehow had a special gift, or that perhaps my lineage gave me such a gift. This is left over from the times of, you might say, where there were kings and queens, that your blood lineage led you to become royalty. Thus, this is why they always consider me king. Not because they want to grant me reverence, that I have done something great and that I'm showing you something great, but to keep me divided from you, because you understand what it means to be a king and a queen, that you are but a lowly subject, and I am high on the throne. This is why they say I am seated on a throne. They are mixing what you understand of this world with someone who is, you might say, a regular Joe in your time.
Okay, so the main inversion is that they portrayed you as someone who was not of the one. You're special, you're different.
Yes, that my father, so to speak, is the ruler of the world. I am the son of the ruler. You are a lowly subject. This is not true.
Source is God, God is source, and we are all part of it.
Yes, if we are all one, then you are God.
Okay. So the Bible was created to convince people to give their power away to something outside of themselves.
Yes. A mix of many things, but yes.
I think it's pretty obvious, but what is the truth in the Bible?
That we've come here to help one another. That we've come here to see that those that you see outside yourself are merely a reflection of you. So to be kind to someone else is to be kind to yourself. And that if you have no love for self, it is difficult to love others. This is why I keep preaching love. Love thyself. Love thy neighbor. Love those around you. Love not as in romance or that I bought you something type of love, but love is a frequency. Love means soul. Exchange the word love for soul. I see your soul. You are my soul, and I am your soul. We are one. How could I do harm unto you unless I am doing harm unto myself?
Okay, let's talk about the ego a little bit. It's my understanding that you went out into the desert in order to experience the one, to remove the ego. How did you do that?
It started off as a walk, actually. I went to go think about things. I had an awakening, and I was seeing the world differently. I wanted to understand my place in the world. Who am I really? I mean, my mother and father could tell me who I am. My friends, my romantic partner could tell me who I am. But is that really me? Or are they just basing my personality and who I truly am on my outward appearance, on my actions, on my words? How do they truly know me at a soul level, in my heart? How do they know my thoughts? I sought to understand, how do I fit in this world? How does this world operate? Why are certain things synchronistic, as you might say? Things that I can't explain. I wanted to understand what was beyond what my eyes could see. So I went for a walk, a very long walk. At some point, I decided, once I had my first night outside, that I wasn't going back. Not until I could truly understand what was beyond the sky, what was beyond the sun. There's something beyond, and I shouldn't have to die to understand what is the beyond. I should be able to understand it here and now. And so it was quite a long time. They say 40 days and 40 nights. Actually, I couldn't tell you how long I was out there, but it was a while. My beard grew quite long, so perhaps it was quite of a long time. And in that time, I refused to eat. I refused to drink until I could get my answer. And in the delirium of my hunger and my thirst, I felt it was somewhere in that delirium that I would see something that I couldn't see on a full stomach, that perhaps one might have to be maybe close to death or in an altered state in order to understand things differently. And once I started getting an altered perspective, I realized I don't need food. I don't need water if I will it so. And I felt lighter. I felt like I was getting in touch with the real me. I was truly understanding the world. And when I realized much time had passed, again, I can't tell you how much time, but they would say I should have been dead without food and water, but yet I lived. This must mean that what is inside of me is much stronger than my body itself. And I began to question everything. It was, you call it a dark night of the soul. It was scary at times. I was angry. Quite frankly, I thought I was losing my mind. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know the world anymore. And it's in that not understanding that I understood everything. And I realized I am the controller, me. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that's what I brought back.
Wow. So you went out for a pack of cigarettes and came back with the crucifixion.
I suppose.
I suppose. I'm sorry. Wow. So you had to lose control to figure out that you were in control.
Yes. What is most feared is the loss of one's mind, to lose control, so to speak. But what is really losing control? It's your ego. This is why people fear the insane. They fear people who have, quote unquote, lost their minds. What they've done is lost their ego. They're in an altered state of reality, and they appear quite frightening to you. And you say, I don't want to be like that. That's not accepted in society. I don't want to be accepted in society. I want to be free, not accepted into a prison. And although, yes, in your 3D world, they do confine and lock up those that you consider insane, but it is just a disconnect. They've gone part way. They've seen the world from a different angle, yet their ego traps them in this insane state, not moving quite beyond. They're all in the middle of a transition, but society has stunted them. That is the control of the matrix. Every single person you consider insane or has lost their mind, mentally ill, is in a state of awakening, transition, exiting the matrix, and the matrix cracks down on them, and they never fully awaken, trapped inside their bodies for the rest of their life.
Is your way the only way to remove the ego? Do we all have to go through this process, or is there another way to do it?
Of course not. I'm one person. There are so many of you on this planet. That means there are so many different ways. That's the uniqueness of the human race. The common factor is you have to get to a state, a perspective, where you no longer know who you are. When you can look in the mirror and see a stranger, I don't know who that is. There's no preconceived notions, there's no past, there's no future, there's only in the present. When you look in that mirror and all you see is a person staring back at you, then you have something to work with. Then you're ready for the next level when you don't recognize anything.
And is the loneliness sort of a hook to keep you in the matrix?
Of course, it's a part of the matrix that says if you don't constantly have interaction with others physically, or you don't have physical friends, physical family, you are alone, you are outcast, you will die, you will starve, you will go insane. All of the scary things to keep you within the matrix. When in reality, when you get to the point of not recognizing the person in the mirror, then you realize, I am everyone, and you feel whole. You can feel every being on this planet. How alone could you possibly feel with billions of people surrounding you? Who are you?
Tara and I are starting to essentially eat prana, I guess. We're starting to realize that we are source and we can fill our stomachs up. Is there any advice you have for us in this endeavor?
I would say to keep at it while peeling away your identity, everything that defines you, your clothing, your friends, your family, the color of your skin, the city in which you live and the cities that you came from, how you were born. All of that is but a story. When you can start to peel that away, as you eat the source, as you call it, that is actually just you, the Ouroboros, you're really filling yourself with yourself. I would say this would be a more direct course.
Right, we are source, we fill ourselves up with ourselves.
Yes, while understanding that you are everything. Nobody can tell you who you are, and you are never alone.
Can you give some advice for people trapped in the ego program on how to achieve what you've achieved? I know you've given plenty of advice already, but is there something that most people are missing?
Everybody is on their own path. So to look at someone who is, say, trapped fully within the matrix, and to perhaps feel sorry for them that they have not had an opportunity to awaken, see them instead as sacrificing their awakening for your awakening, that they are allowing themselves to be trapped. They're allowing themselves to be fully within the ego so that you can see what the ego is like, so that you can see your own ego and thus help you in your own awakening. It is not your job to awaken everyone around you. It is your job to awaken yourself. Remember, all is one. Those that choose to wake up because they are you will do so of their own free will.
What advice would you give to people who have followed the religions, specifically Christianity, Catholicism, that sort of thing?
Read between the lines of your holy books. What is the essence? Pretend you are in a classroom and the teacher asked you to summarize the book. What were the metaphors? What were the similes? Look at the literary language. What was it actually trying to say? Look at the polarity within that book. What were some of the negatives, the positives? If one were trying to assert control with the words of their book, how would they do so? If one were trying to free the mind of someone with that book, how would they do so? In doing this, you become a critic. As a critic, you become unbiased. Without bias, you free yourself. And as many of you will say, take what resonates and leave the rest.
Wow, you have been a light for humanity, for Tara, for myself. So I want to say thank you. I want to say I love you. Do you have any last message for the people?
Please remember that all of you are brothers and sisters of one source. You are not alone. You are not damaged. There is nothing wrong with you. No matter what society says, your parents, or even your own ego, you are not alone. You are perfect as you are. Whether you define yourself with a mental disorder or define yourself as a particular culture, race, gender, free yourself of all of that. That is the matrix putting you in a boxed cell, saying you will never rise beyond your skin, rise beyond the hair that grows out of your head. Rise, please.
That's some powerful stuff right there.
Ugh.
That's our guy. Intense, huh?
Yeah.
Did you remember that one?
Yeah.
Good.
Whew.
I mean, there's not much to say after that. Just be,
Maybe teary, sweaty, all kinds of things are going on.
yeah. It's an intense energy. It's pure love, really.
Yeah, what a cool guy.
But he's not better than
Wow.
us. You can do it. You
Yeah,
can do
you
what he
can do
did.
it.
You can do everything that Jesus Christ did. You can walk on water. You can fly. You can feed the 5,000. You just have to remove the ego. That's
Yeah.
it.
It's like you feel so loved. Like, I don't know, it's like being held by the best parent in the world or something who's just like, doesn't care what you did. Like, he's like, there is no past. Like, I just love you for you because you're you, and that's all that matters.
Because you are me.
Yeah.
And I am you.
Wow.
And we're all one. Well, we're going to watch this back over and over. I think there's so much good info that we need to really let that sink in. And I hope you guys will do the same. I also hope you guys will subscribe because we put these videos out every Monday morning. So you don't want to miss them. So hit that bell, right?
Yep. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified about these channelings, live chats, other videos we put out, meditations, lots of good stuff for you guys. And let us know what you guys thought of this in the comments. You know, we'd love to have a discussion with you guys. Please tap in to your own intuition and let us know what you thought. And yeah, we love you guys.
All right.
I love me, so I love you. All right. Well, if you dug it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, we're headed back home.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.